Chosen one, do not allow this moment to pass in indifference. Because what I want to tell you is reaching directly into the deepest place of your heart. The time has come for you to awaken to the calling you have postponed again and again. You do not need to fear that missing one message will cause your entire future to close. But you do need to understand that every day you continue ignoring the truth within. You lengthen the distance between yourself and the life you genuinely desire to live. I have not come to keep you here through threats of regret. I come like a compassionate father, placing a hand upon your shoulder and reminding you that your time is precious. The abilities within you have meaning, and the goodness planted in your heart should not remain buried beneath fear, delay, or the judgments of others. For a very long time, you have felt an inner stirring that was difficult to explain. In the middle of ordinary days, you sometimes suddenly realized that you did not want to live forever within the same cycle. You knew that you could love more deeply, live more honestly, and build something more meaningful than your present life reflected. Yet whenever that thought arose, another voice whispered that you were not skilled enough, did not possess sufficient resources, or had waited too long to begin. You attempted to silence the desire by remaining busy, filling your time with insignificant matters, and convincing yourself that one day you would change. But beloved, that day does not arrive by itself. It is born when you decide to make today the beginning. Even though the first step may be small and the entire road ahead remains unclear. What is shifting does not necessarily need to be a dramatic event that immediately amazes everyone around you. Profound renewal often begins in silence, like a seed resting beneath a thick layer of soil. From the outside, no one knows what is happening. There is no celebration, no confirmation, and no obvious evidence that new life is preparing to emerge. Yet in the darkness, the old shell is beginning to crack. Roots are searching for a way downward, and a persistent life force is reaching toward the light. You have also passed through seasons like this. At times, you believed you were being buried, when in truth you were taking root. At times, you thought everything had become motionless, while wisdom, endurance, and discernment were quietly forming within you. The trials you endured are not evidence that you were forgotten. I saw the nights when you remained awake, searching for an answer to a problem that seemed impossible to solve. I saw the times when you prayed and received only silence, yet still rose the next morning to fulfill your responsibilities. I know you cried over a relationship that could not be saved, felt disappointed when your efforts went unrecognized, and questioned your worth after rejection. Yet every tear made your heart more sensitive to the pain of others. Every failure forced you to examine what needed to change. Every season of waiting taught you not to entrust your future to impulsive decisions. Not every painful event was sent by God. But nothing lies beyond the possibility of becoming a lesson when you choose to emerge from it with wisdom. You are not merely surviving from one day to another. You are being shaped into someone capable of carrying responsibilities that you were once not strong enough to preserve. A vessel intended to hold something precious must be made firm if its walls remain thin and fragile. The weight of the gift itself may cause it to break. Therefore, do not treat your personal growth as a delay of blessing. The months during which you learn to govern your speech, regulate your emotions, organize your finances, care for your health, and establish boundaries in relationships were all part of the preparation. I do not merely want to open the door before you. I want you to possess enough maturity that when you cross the threshold, you do not lose yourself within what is new. You once believed that a great purpose had to be something that attracted the attention of the whole world. Yet, purpose often begins when you become trustworthy in small matters. It appears when you keep your word, though no one is checking. Complete your work with devotion, and treat kindly those who can offer you nothing in return. It is formed when you use your experience to strengthen someone who has lost hope. When you choose to speak truth without humiliating others. And when you protect the vulnerable without seeking praise. A purposeful life does not need to be loud. Sometimes it is like a lamp in a dark room. It does not announce its importance. Yet everyone who enters knows that the room has changed. Therefore, you do not need to write a number or perform a public action in order to prove that you are ready. God does not measure sincerity through buttons, comment, or outward signs. Your truest response is the specific choice you make after hearing these words. Ask yourself what you already know you need to do, but have continued postponing. It may be a conversation that needs to happen calmly, an application you need to submit, a skill you need to learn, or a habit that continually drains you and must come to an end. You may need to ask for assistance instead of attempting to carry everything alone. You may also need to rest, because an exhausted mind often sees darkness upon every road. Choose one appropriate step and remain faithful to it. Do not fear that you must understand the entire plan before you begin. No one receives a map of every day ahead. You need only enough light for the step directly before your feet. If you can see what is right, do it with awareness. If the direction is still unclear, give yourself time to listen, verify, and seek counsel from trustworthy people. Genuine guidance does not force you to act in panic. It may challenge you. Yet, beneath the uncertainty, it leaves a foundation of peace. What comes from fear usually pressures you to hurry in order to escape an imagined disaster. What comes from wisdom enables you to act clearly, responsibly, and without betraying what is good. Some doors will open after you begin walking. Certain people who belong in your next season may appear after you release old connections that depleted you. New opportunities may arise when you seriously develop your abilities instead of only praying to be noticed. Peace will grow when you stop participating in every argument and no longer try to convince those who are determined to misunderstand you. Yet you must also understand that not every open door is your road. Examine the fruit it produces. If an opportunity requires you to lie, surrender your dignity, or sacrifice your health in order to be accepted, it is not the support you are seeking. What is good may require effort, but it will not demand the abandonment of integrity. I know there is still a fear within you that you will be disappointed again. You once hoped and then watched the plan collapse. You once trusted and were betrayed. Therefore, when something new appears, part of you wants to move toward it while another part wants to turn away for protection. Do not be ashamed of that response. It is a trace of what you have endured, but it does not need to become the guide for the rest of your life. You can move more slowly, ask clearer questions, and maintain wiser boundaries while still remaining open to goodness. Healing does not make you naive, as though you had never been wounded. It helps you carry the wisdom of your experience without permitting the wound to govern every decision. Beloved, this is your time, not because the whole of heaven revolves around you alone, but because today is the day you possess the right to choose how you will live. You may continue waiting for perfect confidence, or you may begin with courage that still trembles. You may continue repeating everything that prevented you from moving, or use those lessons as the foundation of a new road. You may continue apologizing for having dreams larger than your present circumstances, or quietly begin working to make those dreams real. No one can take the step for you, but you are not required to walk alone. I, Michael, will remind you to preserve integrity, protect your peace, and refuse to allow fear to steal your most precious choices. Therefore, lift your head and stop seeing yourself as a seed forgotten beneath the earth. The former shell is breaking because you can no longer continue living as you once did. What wounded you is becoming discernment. The waiting is becoming depth. Every new beginning is teaching you that an ending does not automatically mean failure. You have not reached the destination, but you are also no longer standing at the beginning. Enter today with one clear decision: a humble heart and hands prepared to do what is necessary. The breakthrough you seek may not arrive like thunder, but it will grow through each faithful choice, until one day you look back and realize that your entire life changed direction. At the moment you stopped postponing the person God had been quietly preparing you to become. Beloved, this awakening is not only about the doors that are about to open, it is also about the new person being quietly formed within you. You have endured too much to be described merely as someone fortunate enough to survive. The days of testing, the nights when you had to lift yourself again, and the times you continued walking while no one understood, the weight you carried have refined you into a warrior who knows how to stand without display. That transformation is becoming increasingly visible. Others may not yet know how to describe what they sense, but they are beginning to recognize a deeper calmness, clearer eyes, and a strength that no longer depends upon praise or approval. You are no longer easily carried away by every sound around you, because in the hidden place you are learning which things deserve your response and which should be allowed to pass in silence. I am reshaping you from within, not to make you a stranger to yourself, but to return you to the form that was always meant for you. The layers of fear that covered your voice are being removed. The habits that caused you to diminish yourself in order to please others are losing their authority. Your presence is beginning to carry a new weight because you no longer enter a room asking whether you will be accepted. You enter knowing that your worth was established before anyone had an opportunity to judge you. Your eyes now carry the light of someone who has seen darkness but refused to remain there. Your words carry greater weight, not because you speak more loudly, but because you have learned to speak from truth rather than from wounds. Your steps are also becoming steadier because fear no longer determines your entire direction. Pause and allow this truth to settle deeply within you. Your presence has never been insignificant. Even during seasons when you felt invisible, I saw the qualities forming within you. Even when you were only trying to survive another day, heaven was preparing within you the capacity to carry greater responsibility. You were not chosen because you never made mistakes, nor because you were always stronger than everyone else. You were called because your heart still responds to what is true. And because after being wounded many times, you still refused to let bitterness become your identity. You had many reasons to close yourself, yet there remained a place within you reserved for hope. That is what enables you to become a vessel, carrying peace into confusion and gentleness into places where people have become accustomed to treating one another coldly. The doors before you are opening in ways you have not yet recognized. One may take the form of a professional opportunity, a meeting, or an offer you once believed you were not capable of accepting. Another may not lead to a place where many people can see you, but instead to the exact environment where your gift can be used fully. The people you need are also gradually being placed in position. They are not coming to rescue you from responsibility, but to build beside you, encourage you, and provide what you currently lack. The resources you need may not appear all at once, but each part is being brought at the proper time. Therefore, do not judge your future only by what is presently within your hands. I often provide enough light for the next step before showing the entire journey. Yet you must step forward through faith rather than panic. Readiness is not proven through a number, a comment, or a symbolic public action. If you use a small sign to remind yourself of a new decision, let it remain only a reminder of the genuine transformation taking place in your life. Heaven does not need an action on a screen in order to know whether you are ready. Readiness is seen when you stop delaying what you already know must be done. Keep your word when no one is checking. Leave cycles that exhaust you, and accept responsibility for the gift entrusted to you. One quiet step in integrity possesses more power than many declarations that last only for a moment of emotion. Remember Esther, a young woman who could not choose the circumstances of her life, yet was placed in the exact position from which the destiny of an entire people could be changed. She did not enter the palace with every answer, nor had she planned in advance to become someone who would save many lives. Her preparation occurred through experiences that initially seemed unrelated to her greater purpose. She learned how to observe, remain humble, recognize when to be silent, and understand when she needed to speak. When the decisive moment arrived, she did not act because she felt no fear. She acted because she understood that the purpose was greater than her personal safety. You also stand before a moment like this. Your present position may cause you to feel incapable or as though you do not truly belong. But you are not required to understand immediately why you have been placed where you are. I did not place you here by mistake. What you regarded as delay may have taught you to observe people more deeply. Seasons of solitude may have trained you to listen and no longer depend upon the crowd. Rejection may have given you compassion for those who are continually overlooked. All these things are producing a combination that no school could teach completely. Therefore, when the call urges you to rise, do not focus only upon what you still lack. Look back at what each part of the road has trained within you. I am not asking you to enter something greater through perfection. I need only a heart willing to listen, a spirit capable of learning, and courage to do what is right when the moment arrives. The opposition you encountered is not evidence that you are failing. Much noise attempted to make you forget your purpose, keep you occupied with unnecessary arguments, and bury your discernment beneath fear. There were days when you were drawn into proving yourself to those who never intended to understand. There were moments when the chaos surrounding you became so loud that the inward calling sounded very small. Yet you are still here. You did not disappear. You may be tired and carry many wounds, but you still possess the ability to hope and begin again. The fact that you did not allow darkness to turn you into a cold person is already a profound victory. Every time you choose faith instead of fear, the power of the past becomes weaker. Every time you speak words that build rather than retaliate through harm, you break an old cycle. Every time you preserve a boundary without cultivating hatred, you mature into someone capable of carrying authority without abusing it. What was once used to bring you down is becoming the place where strength is revealed. You do not need to know how every trial will end. What you need to know is that you are no longer the same person who first entered the battle. You are more discerning, more profound, and less willing to surrender authority to voices that define you by failure. Therefore, beloved, rise not in arrogance, but in a clear awareness of responsibility. Listen before acting, prepare before entering, and remain humble when the door opens. Do not diminish yourself merely to keep those who live upon the surface comfortable. But do not use your difference as a reason to separate yourself from everyone. The light given to you is not meant to blind others, but to help them see the road. Let the peace within you become a place where the weary can rest. Let your voice protect truth, and let the resources you receive create goodness beyond your individual life. I am calling you to step forward because the season of hiding has completed its work. Stand firmly now. Open your heart and move ahead, because the extraordinary work I desire to accomplish will not merely come to you, it will flow through you and touch many lives. Beloved, in the very place where you once believed everything had been lost, I am leading you into a field of grace where provision, right relationships, and a new future are quietly taking form. Remember Ruth, the woman who left her homeland after losing her home, her security, and her husband. Before her was not a wide and guaranteed road, but a foreign land and days of gathering the grain left behind so that she could survive. The world may have seen only an impoverished widow, but heaven saw a faithful heart moving toward the place where destiny was waiting. It was within that ordinary-looking field that she encountered protection, kindness, and a door leading to an inheritance greater than anything she had dared to imagine. Her story reminds you that the place where you stand today may appear humble, but that does not mean my presence is absent. A small beginning can still contain an expansive future. You have also passed through seasons in which you had to leave what was familiar without knowing what awaited you. Some people promised to remain, but eventually turned away. Some plans you developed for years suddenly collapsed, leaving you with the feeling that you had to begin again from nothing, yet you never truly returned to nothing, because you carried all the wisdom, endurance, and lessons formed through every trial. What left your hands could not remove the qualities built within you. Therefore, I want you to stop seeing the present as an empty land. See it as a new field waiting for you to enter faithfully. Every small task you complete, every upright choice you make, and every day you continue without visible results are seeds being planted. The right people will be drawn not only to what you possess, but to your sincerity, wisdom, and the light you preserved after difficult days. Someone will recognize ability within you before the crowd notices it. Someone may open a door, share experience, or offer an opportunity you could not have created by yourself. Yet, do not remain motionless, waiting for divine arrangement while neglecting your responsibility. Ruth did not stay indoors, hoping that provision would appear. She entered the field, bent down, and worked with her own hands. Grace does not eliminate effort. It causes sincere effort to find the right soil in which to bear fruit. Therefore, continue preparing. learning, completing what has been entrusted to you, and treating the people you meet with kindness. You do not know which conversation will become a bridge or which seemingly small task will lead into a new chapter. My word to you now is to rise from the posture of someone merely trying to survive. You were not destined to remain forever beneath the weight of fear and doubt. The previous years may have trained you to remain defensive. Continually imagine the worst outcome and avoid celebrating too soon because you feared that something would be taken away again. But beloved, living permanently in defense is not freedom. I am teaching you to open your heart to goodness while preserving discernment. Receive opportunity without abandoning dignity, and walk powerfully without trampling anyone. Genuine authority is not found in controlling other people. It is found in governing your own thoughts, words, and choices. The failures once used to dim your light no longer possess enough power to hold you back. Some people used criticism to make you smaller. Some circumstances caused you to believe that every talent you possessed was useless. Certain days of despair made you think you would never emerge from darkness. Yet you are still here. And your presence today is evidence that what attempted to bury you failed to complete its purpose. You do not need to deny the pain in order to prove your strength. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and then lay it down. A healed person is not someone who was never wounded, but someone who no longer allows the wound to determine the whole future. I am lifting you. Yet that elevation may not begin with fame or a position that impresses everyone. It may begin when you reclaim peace. Build a disciplined life and stop repeating choices that continually exhausted you. I may place you where your voice will be heard. But first you must learn to use that voice to heal rather than harm. I may entrust you with greater resources, but you must learn to manage what you already possess with gratitude and responsibility. Many people may eventually see you, but remember that light was not given so that you would worship yourself. It was given so that others could look upon your journey and recognize that a broken life can still be rebuilt through love, faith, and faithfulness. The purpose upon your life is larger than personal comfort. When abundance arrives, it is not intended merely to make your own life easier, but to give your hands the ability to strengthen those who are experiencing lack. What you receive may help a family survive a difficult season, give a young person access to education, or bring renewed life to a community that has forgotten how to hope. Genuine abundance is not measured only by what you accumulate, but by the number of lives touched through your generosity and wisdom. I am not calling you to feel guilty for possessing more. I am teaching you to become a faithful steward who receives with gratitude and gives without display. Remember David, who spent ordinary days among the fields caring for animals, while no one considered that work preparation for a throne. The small battles he faced in solitude taught him courage, awareness, and protection. When the greater challenge appeared, he did not borrow another person's identity. He used what had already been developed within him. Later, his victories no longer affected only himself. They influenced the safety and future of an entire people. In the same way, many lessons you learned in silence will become resources for others when you are placed in a broader position. Today's private victories may create waves of change within your family, workplace, and community tomorrow. The greatness I am calling you into is not built upon empty display. It is not a race in which you must possess more than others or make everyone know your name. This greatness is rooted in living according to purpose, remaining faithful to goodness, and using influence to serve. Some people possess very much, but remain empty within, because every achievement revolves around proving their worth. I want you to know your worth before success arrives, so that when you are elevated, you do not become a prisoner of praise. You will know how to bend down and strengthen those who are weaker. Listen to those without a voice, and step away from the spotlight when the work has been completed. Therefore, you do not need to dissolve yourself into the crowd in order to feel safe. Your difference is not found in attracting attention, but in preserving integrity when compromise appears more convenient. You shine when you remain kind after being treated unfairly. Speak truth without cruelty, and keep your word even when no one is watching. Such light naturally attracts those searching for hope, not because you are perfect, but because they see a genuine person who fell, rose, and continued walking. Let your journey become a testimony through the way you live, rather than through attempts to persuade everyone with grand declarations. Beloved, the former chapter is gradually closing, but do not merely stand still and watch the past fade. Actively enter the field opening before you. Perform the work in front of you well. Receive healthy relationships, and remain alert to opportunity. Do not despise a small beginning, because the seed of a great inheritance is often planted within very ordinary days. I am leading you from loss toward provision, from the feeling of being overlooked toward a position that can bring benefit to many. Move forward with humility, courage, and hands prepared to serve. The struggles have completed their work of refinement. Now the time has come to use everything you have learned to build a future that is not only brighter for you, but also becomes a place of refuge, a source of hope, and an open door of goodness for many who will come after you.